Hey guys, today we are going to be looking at the Transformers Cybertron, I think Deluxe Class Sideways, or the Japanese version called Noise Maze. And so yeah, here he is. He obviously looks extremely different from his Armada version, the purple motorcycle. But so yeah, he is a Cybertronian plane, even though he doesn't come from Cybertron. He comes from Planet X, and I just got him here recently, and for a very good price. Um, I'll talk about a bit about that a little later, but yeah, he is a Cybertronian jet and does a very good job at you know looking like a jet. You can see the nose cones, some fins, the wings. It's not just like a brick that doesn't look like a uh, just a brick that looks like a plane. It looks like an actual plane. Very good. You can only see his hands, and if you know that these are his feet. But yeah, he overall does a very good job at covering up his robot mode bits. So yeah, I always thought that the front of his like the cockpit and all this uh, looks like a face. These are its eyes. This is like the bridge of its nose. I don't know. Um, but so yeah, he he's cool. He's just a cool looking jet. Um, Cyber key gimmick. I don't think you can activate it in vehicle plane mode, so you're gonna have to transform him. But yeah, and he has a very complex transformation, and it can be a little finicky and complicated, and not not really frustrating, but for someone who never experienced the mold and isn't and hasn't had as much experience in Transformers, might get a little frustrated with it because it is very complex and it is very in depth. So, yeah, let's get into it. And I'm going to talk about the Cyber keys here really quick. I have two. I can't remember. I don't know which one I got with him. Um, one of them, but I got one of them with uh uh my Cybertron Mudflap, and he came with one of the Cyber keys that was to him. So yeah, that's why I have two. Don't really need to have two, but I have two. So yeah, we'll get into the transformation. So you're gonna come over to all of this. You're just gonna split it apart and stretch it out. This, I just like to bring it down like so. Just get it out of the way. Like so. Do the same thing. Just get that out of the way. Now you're going to come down here. And you're going to bring all this together. And mine is tight. Like, all the joints are nice and tight. Except for one of the legs. Like, it's still very tight. It's this leg. Then this is a very secure locking point for his, like, waist, like, crotch, pelvis area. Very secure. So, if you go to pull it from the legs, at least mine, I popped this leg off a lot, so it has decreased the tightness of the joint, but it's still very tight. And then you use the thigh swivel and swivel it around, like so. But, yeah, so now I'm just going to swing these around. Like, there are a lot of joints that you get to play with. Joint right there, joint. So I'm just going to, I don't know, just fold it like that, and yet this is on a peg, so it can swivel right there. So just going to compress it, down into itself like so. Then you'll just bring the feet down, and then the heel will come out. So there are his legs. I'm going to get his legs situated first right now so he has a good base to stand on. Like that. So there. So now we have all this up here. So you're going to come here and just sort of bring it up. It's on a double hinge. You can see hinge. Then I like to just bring all this forward just to get it all this out of the way more. So now you want to bring it down to where it's somewhat 90 with all this, and then you can just swivel all that around and then bring the shoulder out. And now just straighten the shoulder out. I like to bend it at the elbow and then hinge this down and then swivel the wrist. Then this one, since it doesn't have all this, you can just bring it out, around, swivel, then swivel again. So there, like so. So now, this is one of the more complex parts where you could potentially like break it. So we're just gonna stand him up straight, get his legs all situated. I'm gonna raise the camera up. So just gonna get all this situated. I'm going to bring that out. So I'm gonna open this, bring his head out, and it's on a double hinge. And now I'm just gonna leave it like that, because now you want to bring this part, this whole black assembly forward, I think. No, back, and then this will hinge, and then it's going to go somewhere around here because it's a little tab. But you have to have this down, then you can bring it in and compress it all together, because this big flap goes right over top of this and it sort of locks it together like so. So you don't want to go, when you go take him back into robot mode, you don't want to go just like bringing that up, because I've felt it. Like, I haven't done it because I can feel it wanting to push past certain spots. So now you can just straighten everything out, bring the head down, flip this back up, and swivel the head around like so. And there you have Sideways. Bring this back down. Bring this back down. There you have Sideways. And yeah, I like him. I really like him. I've liked the design. You know, just the black and the orange just fit so well together. You know, just like it, and it's especially helps that all the joints on my copy are nice and stiff. Like the head, it's nice and stiff. Shoulders are stiff. This is like the only loose part right here, this transformation joint. But bicep swivel, that's a little loose. But elbow is almost too tight, you know, almost too tight. Wrist swivel, nice. This joint, nice. All the joints are nice and tight. This is the leg I think came off, you know. This leg is quite a bit stiffer. This leg, when I was trying to split this like pelvis area, it would just pop right off. So it's and it has the previous owner probably has had it pop off, because, you know, if it popped off before this one and it's looser, then it has probably popped off before. But you get obviously the leeway of the joint of the ball and socket, but you also get a thigh swivel, so you can get quite a bit more, you know, you get the range of just the ball joint plus a thigh swivel. A super high kick, you know, the universalness of a ball joint, just unfortunately they'll wear out over time if I keep messing with it. Due to transformation, super deep knee bend, you know, forward and back on the forward, you know, back. And, you know, he has a nice pronounced ankle, so you can do quite a bit with him. Obviously, he is not the greatest filming because he's just mostly black. So yeah, I really dig him. He has very good articulation. Especially helps that mine has nice tight joints. And you can see the nice orange transclearant light piping. So yeah, I really like it. So now these wings. You can leave them like this, you can leave them on his legs, or in the show, he takes them and uses them as weapons. I like to display them with both of them, so one on the top, one on the bottom, like that. And since these come off, these get lost an awful lot of times. So if you get on eBay, get on even the aftermarket, not even just eBay, the aftermarket, you will see this guy missing his those wings. And it's not like Transformers the G1 quick switch where his guns become the wings of like his jet and the barrel of the laser gun, where you're going to spend $18 to $20 for the part, but it's not really necessary. It's just basically the gun of his robot mode. This guy, unfortunately, these wings, since they become weapons and they get lost quite often, they are unfortunately crucial pieces to the aesthetic of his vehicle mode. So that's a little unfortunate that they get misplaced fairly often, and they cost $16 to $20. That is very unfortunate. And this guy goes for a lot of money on the aftermarket, $60+. And I got him very, very inexpensive. I got him in a lot with Breakdown, and they're all Cybertron toys. Breakdown, Red Alert, the Deluxe class, not the Cybertron Defense Force, Ultra class, Thundercracker, and Brimstone. Then I got some Minicons. I got all their cyber keys. I got all their instructions. I got Crosswise's gun, Cybertron Crosswise's gun, and cyber key for him, I think. Yeah, nearly all the guys that I got were complete, plus Crosswise's gun, which I already have it, but it doesn't matter, for only $62. And I'll show them off at the very end with him. But yeah, so I'm going to show off a cyber key gimmick. So Sideways, if you've seen mainly Armada. In Cybertron, he's more of just a Decepticon. When he first appears, he is more deceptive, but most of the time he is hanging around Megatron for the first bit of the show. Then he is minion to Starscream. And so yeah, he's more of a Decepticon, but really in Armada, he is all about deception. How he is more Unicron's herald. Like he's all about serving Unicron, and he's just using the Autobots and the Decepticons for the bigger goal. But yeah, so he is an Autobot, and you insert the cyber key, and it starts to go to a Decepticon, and then that comes out. These transparent blades. I don't know what they were used for, obviously for just a blade. But yeah, very, very cool. The blade idea is more, secondary, but it's mainly the gimmick that makes the Autobot symbol change to a Decepticon symbol. Very, very awesome. I think there was something very similar with like the different Minicons with the original Armada Sideways. But yeah, I really, really like him. Just his transformation is, he might have been a little complex for a kid, but look, for a toy that I didn't experience when I was young, and experiencing it now, it has a flawless transformation. As I showed you, his vehicle mode, his alternate mode, has zero kibble except for his hands. He has a little bit of kibble, obviously in his robot mode, but I don't know. But his design, I love it. I prefer this design over the Armada one. I more grew up with this design of Sideways. Movieverse Sideways doesn't even compare to those two Sidewayses, but yeah, really, really like him. So I'm gonna show off the lot that he came in. Got him next to me, so yeah. So here they are. These are all the notable things that I got. Obviously I got all their cyber keys, got all their instructions, got obviously three mini cons. But yeah, they're all complete. They all have their accessories. So yeah, uh, I for $62, I'm very very happy that I got them, especially him. Sideways, easily going, easily on the aftermarket, being worth the entire set, the entire lot. So yeah, very happy that I have them. So yeah, so sideways, I love him. Uh, Unfortunately, once again, like I said, he's worth easily the entire lot that I got him. He is $60 and higher. Um, he's a good toy. He's not worth $60. He retailed for probably like 10 to 20, I bet. Probably not 10, but at least 20. Um, and he's more than certainly going to have probably a legacy toy, because they're already into Armada. They already are somewhat into Cybertron. You know he and because Sideways, both versions, the Cybertron and Armada version, even though they're the same character, um are, I'd say, like multiverse, like dimension hopping, like mysterious guys. He most certainly will probably be getting a legacy toy. Probably not before the Armada version, but he will be. I guarantee it. But yeah, very very happy that I have him. So yeah, they're gonna have a tough time trying to make a better version of this. Like the Armada version, I don't have any experience with it, but from my knowledge, they could easily do better with that version. But this toy, looking at it today and spending some time with it, if they try to go back and redo Sideways, they're gonna have a tough time. They are going to have a tough time making a better version of this. Just the only reason why they would need to redo it is the fact that the prices of him on the aftermarket are super high, and people want him because he's a main character from Cybertron. So yeah, I really really love the toy, and I love the fact that I got the opportunity to buy him for, and a lot of other molds. I owned the Red Alert mold. I already have four versions of it. I have two Red Alerts, well, three, including him, and then I have the Cannonball mold, so the Cannonball toy. So yeah, overall, absolutely love the fact that I got him for such a great deal, and just another reason. Look out for auctions. Look out for bids. You know, you may lose quite a bit of the time, but you will always more than likely find a hidden gem like I have. So yeah, look out for those things. And Sideways, highly, highly recommend it. Just unfortunate that he's so expensive. So, pretty much all I have to say. So, till next time, see ya.